everybody, this is Jason Lee with NextLevelGuitar.com, and I'm back with the Electro Harmonix Micro Synthesizer pedal. This particular pedal is going to give you a very synthy type of a tone, and definitely more of a vintagey synth tone. I think Electro Harmonix really was trying to get it more of a vintage 70s kind of Moog-esque tone, and really easy to hook up. I think really cool sound, definitely for tracking, in the studio for guitars, or even some weird live stuff for some intros or outros to songs. Electro Harmonix is, if you don't know, are a company out of New York. They've been making pedals easily since the 70s, and Micro Synth is definitely one of their older ones. This is a reissue that I've got today. This is actually our trigger. So what this is going to do is our first slider, and what we're pretty much going to do is the trigger is going to let you determine how hard you need to hit to actually let it turn on or off, or actually have the effect come into the mix. So if you want it, if you're playing something real hard or something heavy, or a louder guitar or a softer guitar, pretty much just adjust this accordingly to what you're going to need to use it for. Right now, our first one right here in our voice mix is going to be the sub octave. So the sub octave is literally like a subharmonic low end that's going to be added into the mix. And next is going to be our actual guitar volume. That's pretty much what's coming in clean. So if you really want this thing to sound like a robot, you can turn the guitar virtually to 2, just so it's enough to trigger it, and you got all pedal and no guitar, or you can go ton of guitar, whatever your choice is on that. The next one's going to be just our average octave that's coming into it. So it's going to be another octave that's going to be paired up with the sub octave, and then our square wave. I guess the way to describe it is this is more the actual synthy tone that's coming into it. Then we have our next actual section, which is the filter sweep, and the resonance. Resonance is almost like a presence control. It's how much high end you're going to bring into the mix. And then this is our start frequency. So this means that it's almost like you're playing a synthesizer. It's like saying now, right now is when the sound's going to come in, and then the next one's going to be the stop frequency, and that's now it's going to stop. So if you want it to actually come in really quick, you would raise the start frequency, and if you want it to stop quicker, you'd raise the stop frequency. If you want it to go longer, you'd actually turn down the stop frequency. And then last but not least is actually just our rate. This is our actual control. How fast do you want it to come in, overall, how fast do you want the sound to come in, pretty much like a rate on a tremolo pedal or anything like that. The actual connectivity on this unit's very simple. You pretty much just have 2 jacks right here on the top. So you've got your input and your output and your power switch right here. And then if you look right here, that's actually going to be our power right there. The one thing you got to be careful with these pedals is you do have to have the correct Electro Harmonix power supply with this. So I believe it runs the 12 or the 18 volts. And definitely make sure you don't screw that up, because you can actually burn up the pedal pretty easily. When hooking this pedal up too, you can try it 2 different ways. I personally like to use it in the front end of an amp, so it pushes it a little bit more. If you do have an effects loop, try it and see how you like it. I think if you're doing a lot more clean recording, you might want to run it through the effects loop, but if you're doing more live, in-your-face style effects, definitely run it just in the front end of the amp with the in and the out cable. Alright, so now I'm going to play a few examples of the pedal, and then right in the middle of it, I'm actually going to show you in real time what you can do with this pedal too. Let's check it out. So in real time, in that example that I just did, I was pretty much mainly moving the stop frequency control and the rate. So that's what's going to give it that real bubbly sound, and also open up the frequency quite a bit. So definitely don't look at this pedal as a pedal that you just step on and turn on to play live in the studio. No one's going to know what the heck you're doing. So if you think about it, you can actually just sit there and be playing a chord and even have someone turning all the filter knobs for you. Alright, here's another really cool setting. I've kind of turned everything a little polar opposite, but definitely I'm going to show you something else that this pedal can do just by turning some faders. and David's actually going to swing in and help me out, and he's actually going to start turning or start fading up our stop frequency control while I'm playing in real time. So imagine that we're in a studio and we want to get a really cool funky track down. Well, let's try that right now. So thanks to David, we were able to do some really funky stuff right there.
Super genius!
Super genius this guy is. And literally while I was just playing some scales that I was messing around on and some little licks, he was actually helping me out the whole time, moving the faders in real time. So that's definitely something I really want you to try and do if you pick up one of these units. So definitely with this pedal, I think there's an endless array of sounds that you can actually end up getting. I wouldn't pigeonhole this pedal whatsoever as being more of a synth pedal, but as you saw what we were doing in the example, there's plenty of stuff you can do. Imagine if you put other effects behind it, a delay, a chorus. We've got a little bit of reverb on our built-in amp, which gives a little bit more ambience. But definitely, I want you to check out this pedal if you ever see one, or if you have a buddy that's got one, buy it from him. This has been Jason Lee with NextLevelGuitar.com. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos and check out the website, and I'm going to play us out.